Good afternoon. This is Brett Hayworth for Siouxland Public Media News. After immigration enforcement officials conducted a raid at a meatpacking plant in Omaha, some Iowa farmers are wondering how to protect their employees without legal status in the United States. Joe Henry is the state director for the League of United Latin American Citizens in Iowa. At a virtual event hosted by the Iowa Farmers Union, Henry said over 40% of Iowa's farm workers are people without legal status. Henry also said there have not been any major immigration enforcement operations in Iowa so far.
What we've seen here is that when people are pulled over for a traffic violation or infraction, or maybe going into a federal courthouse, they may get arrested by ICE and then taken to jail. That has happened ever so often in the state.
Additionally, another busy weekend in the Okoboji tourist area is about to begin. It is possible that some of the high-traffic areas could have paid parking spots in the future. As first reported by Explore Okoboji News, the Arnold's Park City Council members on Wednesday began discussing the possibility of paid parking in a few spots that are routinely packed on summer weekends. Those include the green space where concerts are held and the Arnold's Park Amusement Park. Councilman Mitch Waters said the city spends money to rework parking lots that get heavily used, so paid parking would be a way to recoup those expenses. Also at the meeting, John Paulsley, the CEO of Arnold's Park Amusement Park, said park officials could support the move to paid parking. Paulsley said it would be important for the amusement park and city officials to begin paid parking at the same time, because if only one entity did that, then drivers would flock to the other option without paid parking. One option aired was a possibility of $5 for a full day of parking or higher amounts on days with premium music acts at the green space. In other news, a federal judge says Job Corps locations across the country can stay open while a lawsuit moves through court. In May, the U.S. Department of Labor planned to pause operations at the end of June. However, plaintiffs argue that Congress has already approved funding through next June. There are 2 Job Corps locations in Iowa, with one 80 miles from Sioux City and Denison, and also in Ottumwa. Iowa lawmaker Hans Wills is part of a task force working to keep the campus open in Ottumwa.
It gives us a ray of sunshine. It's a nice reprieve, but it's not the solution.
Wills says Job Corps in Ottumwa is a success and should be a model for other programs for how it helps low-income students between the ages of 16 to 24. For Siouxland Public Media News, I'm Brett Hayworth.
Good afternoon. I'm Alejandra Perez for Siouxland Public Media News. The Sioux City Public Schools Foundation is sponsoring a prom for the class of 2020 this Saturday. The impact of the coronavirus pandemic that spring caused some school districts to cancel proms, and the Sioux City district was among them. Prom is for graduates from all 3 public high schools, and 250 graduates so far have purchased tickets to attend the event. The event is called Rewrite the Night, which will have the band Decoy, a photo booth, and dancing. The event will be held at the Anthem at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino starting at 7 p.m.